Alright, listen up, because something strange is happening in Fortnite OG right now. You've probably seen them in the sky, glowing, fiery rifts tearing through the sky, bigger and redder than anything we've seen before. But they're not just your usual rift portals, they're different. They feel off. And when I say wrong, they feel wrong. And when I say wrong, I don't mean, oh no, someone's messing with the 0 point again. I mean the kind of wrong that changes everything. Because I think I figured out what these rifts mean. And if I'm right, Kevin the Cube is coming back to the island. But this time it won't be the same Kevin we remembered from Chapter 1. This time, he's coming back as a red cube. And trust me, if this happens, Fortnite is about to enter one of its most dangerous eras ever. Let's start from the beginning. During Fortnite OG Season 4, during the rocket launch, the live event seems to be going as it went in the original Chapter 1. But this time, at the very end of the event, we see the rocket fly up, create this massive red rift. And that's when players started to wonder, what could these red rifts mean? Well, then the red rifts started appearing in Fortnite OG Season 5, and at first just faint glowing cracks in the atmosphere. But a few players spotted them while skydiving and thought they were just some new lighting effect. But over the next few days, they grew bigger and brighter. The red glow started to pulse, almost like a heartbeat. And here's the weird part, the sound. If you get close enough to these rifts, you can even hear a deep, low hum. Not the soft whooshing sound of regular rifts, but something heavier, something more threatening. Now, if you've been around Fortnite lore long enough, you know Epic doesn't add new rift types without a reason. The purple rifts, Kevin. Blue rifts, time jumps. But red rifts? We've never seen these before, which means we have no idea what's on the other side of them until we start connecting the dots. Let's rewind all the way back to Chapter 1 Season 5. The sky tears open and a rift forms, and then, in one of Fortnite's most iconic events, purple lightning begins striking the desert over and over in the same spot until, boom! Kevin the Cube appears out of nowhere. And this wasn't just some random object. Kevin was alive in his own way, moving across the island, bouncing players away, and leaving trails of corruption wherever he rolled. But most importantly, Kevin's energy came directly from Rift Lightning. That's right, this is our first big clue. If Rift Lightning could create a cube once, what's stopping it from happening again? And if these red rifts are just the next evolution, then whatever they're gonna summon is gonna be far more dangerous than the original Kevin ever was. But here's where things get interesting. In Fortnite lore, color isn't just a style, it's a language. Purple represents cube corruption, blue is tied to stability and dimensional travel, but red is almost always bad news. We've seen red in the Imagined Order's warning system, we've seen it in high-level weapons, and most importantly, we've seen it when reality itself is under attack. Think about the last Reality's mothership beam. It wasn't red, but the energy always shifted colors depending on the type of invasion they were carrying out. So what if these red rifts are a sign that the rift energy has been corrupted? Not just by the 0 point, but by something even darker. Imagine Kevin, but forged in pure chaos. A cube not born from the standard rift energy, but from an unstable, weaponized version of it. If this red cube does arrive, well, what could it even do? We already know that the purple Kevin was capable of bouncing players, creating runes, and exploding into the Loot Lake event that changed the island forever. But a red Kevin might not just be a playful chaos, it could be designed for war. Picture this. Every time the red cube moves, it doesn't just leave behind corrupted ground, it spreads fire, magma cracks, or even destabilizes nearby POIs instantly. Instead of taking weeks for corruption to spread, it could happen within hours. And here's the really scary part. Remember in Chapter 2 Season 8 when we learned Kevin wasn't alone? There was the blue cube, the golden cube, and the cube army in the sideways. That wasn't just random, it was an invasion strategy. A red Kevin could be the commander cube, the one cube designed to lead the others. If this thing shows up, we might not just be dealing with a single cube. We might be looking at the first step of a full-scale cube invasion. Let's talk about the last Reality's role, because they've been quiet lately. Too quiet. We last saw them during the Cube Queen's attack, but their forces were pushed back. If they really wanted to return, they'd need a weapon powerful enough to reopen the gateway to our reality. And what better way than using rifts against us? If the last Reality has figured out how to corrupt rift energy, turning it red, then they could send their own creations through. And if the red cube is one of those creations, then the red rifts in the sky aren't just random portals, they're war gates. Every pulse we see in the sky sky could be one step closer to something massive breaking through, and once it does, it won't be alone. Now, let's get hypothetical. Imagine a live event where the sky is filled with those red cracks. You're standing in tilted towers, looking up, and all of a sudden one of them explodes open, firing a beam of red lightning straight into the island. The ground shaking, smoke fills the air, and whenever it clears, there it is, a massive red cube glowing like molten metal slamming into the map. It starts rolling, and it starts corrupting, but before you can even process what's happening, more red lightning hits. Another cube appears, and then another. We're not talking about a single cube this time. We're talking about an army led by the red cube and backed by the last reality. The event ends with the entire island covered in red corruption. The map you knew, gone. And the next OG season, pure cube warfare. So, is this theory true? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But one thing is for sure though, the red rifts aren't here for decoration. Every time Fortnite changes the rift color, something big happens. And I have a feeling this time, it's gonna be something bigger than we can even imagine. But what do you guys think? Are we about to meet a red Kevin? And is the last reality making their move? Drop your guys' theory in the comments. And if you're ready for whatever's coming, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the moment that these rifts finally unleash their secret. But whenever they do, it might already be too late.